How's it going, true believers? True believers. I've always wanted to say that. Stan Lee says that. For those of you who don't know who Stan Lee is, he's like the founding father of Marvel. He created like Spider-Man, The Incredible Hulk, Captain America, all those guys. And he always says, "Welcome, true believers." And so I just wanted to see how it felt. Doesn't really work for me. The reason I'm vlogging today, and I guess I should apologize for my absence as of late. A couple days ago, probably long time ago. Oh no, this past weekend. Today's Friday, so yeah, this past weekend was Valentine's Day. So happy, very belated Valentine's Day to everyone. My fiance was in town that weekend, so no vlogging happened. Sorry. I devoted all my time to her, and I love Valentine's Day, so I wasn't going to vlog on Valentine's Day. It wasn't going to happen. Anyway, I guess the reason I'm vlogging kind of has to do with Valentine's Day, though. Me and my fiance went and saw Dear John, which is the new Nicholas Sparks book that's out. That's a movie now. A bunch of his books have been made into movies. I really liked it. I cried in the movie. There's one part in particular that just got me, man, and I just like... So, yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good little movie that that did what it meant that it was meant to do and make you, or tug at your heartstrings, I guess. And it did that. It did a good job. But a lot of my friends, or a lot of the people that I've talked to who read the book, said that they didn't like the movie because of the old cliche, it was nothing like the book. Whatever. That's a big thing for a lot of people nowadays, because books are one of the main sources that Hollywood uses to make movies. Like if there's a national bestseller or an author that's well known, like Nicholas Sparks or Stephen King or someone that makes good books, of course it's going to make a good movie. So but it's never gonna be the same. Never. People who are like, oh, it was nothing like the book. Well, duh, because you can do so much more in a book than you can in a movie. Because, like, the Stephen King book that I'm reading right now is, like, over 1,000 pages long. It's an epic novel. And there's no way that you can fit 1,000 pages of material into a 2-hour movie. You can't do it. I think the people who came the closest were Lord of the Rings, and Lord of the Rings were great movies, even better books. But yeah, the books are always going to be better because there's more there. There's more character development. There's more plot. There's more characters because like in movies, you have to focus on one or two characters, and kind of develop those as your main characters, and you can have side characters, but you really only need like one or two big ones. In books, you can have any number of main characters, as long as you devote the number of pages needed to develop those characters and develop the story around them. And you can do that in a book. So I really stopped, because I used to be one of those people, but I really stopped comparing movies to books. It's just not worth it. You're never going to enjoy a movie that's based on a book if you always compare it to the book. It's not going to happen. And I think the movie that did it for me was the Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, the Chronicles of Narnia movie. I am a huge fan of C.S. Lewis in general, and the Chronicles of Narnia is one of the greatest book series ever. And so when the first movie came out, or the most recent set of movies, because they had the animatronic old school Chronicles of Narnia, which are awful, but the most recent kind of CGI new age Chronicles of Narnia movies came out. The first one was just bad. But by itself, it was a good movie. If you don't compare it to the book at all, and you just kind of forget about everything that the book set up for rules and story and character. Like, it was a good movie. But you have to ignore the fact that there are things in the book that it set up that you just can't do in the Chronicles of Narnia. Like riding a unicorn. In that first movie, he rides a unicorn into battle. And this is so nerdy. And you're not supposed to do that. In Narnia, unicorns are like a sacred creature, and they're meant to be shown respect, and riding them like a common horse, can't do it. But Peter rides a unicorn in the movie. That irked me. And so after the movie, I was just like, oh, I hated that movie. It was so dumb. In the book, like, it shows some of the, quote unquote violence, because they're not children's books, but I mean they're geared towards a younger audience, I guess. But it still showed some of the violence, and in the movies, the violence wasn't there. Like, you heard like animal noises, like pains, like cries of pain or despair or whatever, but you didn't really get a sense of the violence of the movie. So after that movie, I was just kind of like, you know what? If you just watched the movie and had never read the book, it was decent. And the same thing with Prince Caspian. Prince Caspian was all over the place. Like, that one was, I don't know what they were doing with that one, but man, that one just kind of went off on its own thing. But if you don't compare it to the book, it's good. Which is the same with the Harry Potter books, apparently. I've never read any of the Harry Potter books because I never really cared to. Tried to read the first one, didn't do it for me. So now I watch the movies. The movies are great. I love the movies. But everyone that has read the book says, oh, they're nothing like the books, they're awful. Whatever. Lord of the Rings, there are some people who call those out. The Lovely Bones, Dear John, any Nicholas Sparks movie. Like, if you look at any movie away from the book, they're decent. But that's just the way it goes, You have to look at them as separate entities. There's your word of the day, entity. Same thing with video game movies. Actually, here's the thing about video game movies. They're kind of different from book-based movies. With a video game movie, there's already a visual standard that's been set. Like in books, sure, they can give descriptions of the characters, but you can kind of stray from that a little bit artistic-wise. Video games, there is a standard that has been set visually. Same with comic book movies. You can't, like if the first Spider-Man movie had come out and he was wearing nothing like any Spider-Man suit he'd ever worn, everyone would be like, what the deuce is going on here? And with the Super Mario movies, or movie, my God, what a travesty that thing was. And you watch that movie and you're like, what is going on here? That's not what Mario looks like. That's not what Luigi looks like. Where's Bowser? Where's Princess Peach? Why are they in New York or wherever the deuce they were? And what are those dragons with the little heads thing? Like, there's a standard that's been set, Like, books are a little excusable. You can have a little bit of, you have a little leeway with books. But with video games and comic books, people know what these characters look like, People have seen these characters all their lives, Spider-Man has been around forever, and Superman has been around forever, and Mario and Luigi have been around since, the 80s, and so they have a pretty good following. So, but you can't just make a movie and then just change them, That's my rant for the day, I guess. That's my vlog. If you disagree, let me know. If you agree, let me know. Comment. Tell me what your favorite, there you go. What is your favorite movie that's based on a video game? Or your favorite movie that's based on a book? Or your favorite comic book movie? Something that's based on another genre of art, we'll call it. Because video games and comic books can be art, sure. Just tell me what your favorite movie is that's based on any of those other genres. Anyway, there you go. I will see all of you later. Catch you on the flip side, as they say.